Please play again.
So he is getting it back, Jeremy.
Well, he rolled out a little further away. That's why he initially looked at rolling a little closer to the pink. And you can see there's no jump shot going to be played. It's going to be a kick going to the left side of rail. Now, I'm not really sure. He can come across it, kind of bleed the cue ball over to the right side of rail, trying to use the 8. This will be somewhat of a soft safety. Even if he gets the snooker, it's not going to be hard. Oh, he went for the make. That ball was quite a bit of ways out. And so at this part of the tournament where the players, you know, you heard Max Lechner in the interview last night. He said, all I want to do is make the final 64. Now that mentality has got to change, and I think it should have been a little different from the beginning. But decisions now in this knockout stage where most players feel they can win the tournament if they get to this final 64. It's going to be pretty crucial, the decisions. They're going to win the event. And we did have one lady, I say, guys, that made a run into this final 64. Pia Filler get beat on the heel last night. Almost got to the single elimination round. Hats off to her.
Yeah, it was Hunter Lombardo who saw her off in the end. He'll be playing later against Mario He.
Cue ball fell a little short, so the right-hander is going to have a stretch. He expected another revolution or two on the cue ball. I did too, but it's a little touchy here. Now, normally when you're stretched, you really don't want to spin the ball as much, so may just come up this right side rail with a high ball. No, he's cueing kind of downward, so he's going to come across 2 rails. He's going to have a bit of a tester on the 9 to open.
So as so often, the push-out narrative was decisive. It ultimately led to Sanchez Ruiz getting a nice opener, and he went on from there to take the opening rack. And so was this man.
Oh, cue ball. We're gonna see Mickey Krause with ball in hand.
Ball in hand.
You just have to expect that once in a match, it seems, at least, where you just get the unfortunate kiss.
Please start the clock.
Well, we talked about Sanchez Ruiz looking good and confident at the start. Mickey Krause getting his opportunity here and showing the same qualities. This routine 9 is to get his first on the board. And so Francisco Sanchez Ruiz now leads by 2 racks to 1.
Body movement there. And Mickey, a little different than most, really kind of holds the cue stick at the cue ball. It doesn't make a whole lot of pre-strokes, and of course all the players pretty much pause at the cue ball, but he holds it quite a long time. So he's got to kind of smooth this up the table. Oh, it moved not quite nicely.
Kraus would obviously have known before the start. He's up against one of the very best in the world. According to the rankings, the very best. And that point is really being underlined. Sanchez Ruiz is looking very good. He now leads Mickey Kraus 3-1. He's not the only. As we've said, Sanchez Ruiz hasn't played a lot of pool yet this week. 9-2, first match on the main table on the opening night against Walid Al-Balki, and then 9-5 against Kyle Amoroto, who was always going to present much more of a challenge to him. Winner's qualification yesterday. So he's not spent a great deal of time on the table yet.
Yeah, and I tell you just mentioned a moment ago, Mohamed Soufi down 2-1, and that's how
I've talked about how well FSR has started the match, but Kraus looks to be in good stroke as well. The question will be, can he keep pace if Sanchez Ruiz continues to play well for the entire match? Didn't finish exactly the way he wanted to on the 8. But he sorted it out just fine. Badr Alawadi, who we saw a little earlier, has a 4-1 lead against Marco Teucher. Last year's runner-up, Mohamed Soufi, 4-2 up on the Lucius Yap. Dang Junhu also 4-2 over Kwo Po Cheng. James Aranis with the edge against Lee Van Cortez, a 3-2 there. 4-1 to Billy Thorpe against Oliver Shalnocki. And here on the main table, it's 3-all as Mickey Kraus breaks. And breaks golden. Wow.
Mickey Kraus wins
Mickey Kraus, all of a sudden, having been 3-1 down not so long ago, has made the golden break here to complete 3 in a row, and now he leads for the first time in the match, JJ.
Yeah, I was always watching the yellow 1, where the yellow 9 ball was the one to watch, and Mickey Kraus, not a whole lot of expression with it, but you know he's happy to have it. Yeah, another successful break off the blue 2 up the table by itself. That's always a good sign as far as getting a look. Awkward queuing over the black 8, but you got to figure he's probably going to attack. The red 3 is back down the table, but can he handle the 3 from a little distance? I think he can. So you wouldn't want to make like a cinch shot here, but you know, simplify it as much as you can. Wow, he didn't simplify anything there. He just went on with it, and tell you what, he got some sleep last night. Yeah, we always know if you're from Chinese Taipei, you can play, that's for sure. It doesn't matter if you're at the tournament, back home, it doesn't matter. They just carried so many great players, but I don't think we talk enough about Wu Kunlin, really. It's always so solid, he's not going to give it away, so Shane's got to play a solid match there to get by that one. Maybe even a special match, really. Another shot, little awkward. Can he hold the ball? Does the 3 go by the 9 and the 6? It's an awkward combination onto the pink from where the 3's at, and a somewhat difficult 2 ball because of that side pocket. So he's going to try and go forward a couple rails, maybe by the 5. He's got to be attacking. Oh, he didn't. Looks like a great safety, of course, though. Welding to the back of the brown and really cutting off the kicks. FSR in a little trouble.
Well, the last time he came to the table, he was leading 3-2. Now he returns to it. 3 behind and with a question to answer here.
And you can see from that expression, he's going to have to swerve this just to get to a part of the rail that gives him a chance to get to the back rail and back underneath the blue two. A very deserving extension here after a great safety from Kraus. So we've seen it all from Kraus, right? A lot of offense, some timely defense. He needs to kick out of one here. It's got to go. It's going to have too much spin.
Foul shot. Ball in
Having
hand.
finally got out of his chair. Jeddah today. This could be half a dozen racks in a row. We talked earlier about how many times during that golden run he had a year or two ago Sanchez Ruiz put together a run like this. Now he's having it handed to him, but maybe not for much longer.
Foul shot.
Oh, what a gift this is.
Ball in hand.
Yeah, and 2 things there.
Please start the clock.
Really surprising at the speed of the draw stroke first. So he obviously missed his line with the cue ball, putting that much speed, but you may guard against both. Didn't need a whole lot on that 7 to get to the 8. FSR really, not saying he was asleep, but you definitely woke him up and got him out of the chair quickly there.
So Kraus got ball in hand. Looked as though he was going to stretch his lead to 7-3. But the scratch left Sanchez Ruiz with 3 fairly routine shots. The snap his losing streak, and instead of falling 4 behind, he reduces the deficit to 2. Here is the scratch again, Jeremy, in potting the 6.
Yeah, like I said, you're not going to miss the speed by that much, so he obviously missed the line on the cue ball. A little better there. Look at a 2-9 combination maybe developing. Not easy. It's playable though.
We've talked about players talking themselves out of shots over the last few days. This is one just so tempted to talk yourself into.
Yeah, especially if you can find somewhere to tuck the cue ball. And the good thing about this combination is, well, he's looking at the kiss shot, which not much safe, not much of a backdoor safety there. Good thing about this combination though is you're going to definitely hit the 9. You're definitely going to remove it away from the side, so you're not going to give anything in return. And the 2 should escape. So if he can pinch the cue ball, maybe bring it back by the pink, I think he's supposed to play this combo. Because there's not a dead safety here either.
Extension called.
And not one you would think that's going to secure ball in hand or some kind of easy shot. So I think you got to go here, Michael.
And that's a nice quick one to complete the recovery from the brink of going 7-3 down. FSR is back level. It's a race to 5 from here. Camp is back level and breaking.
Yeah, he's missed the 1 again, and every time it's been a narrow miss, but still that's not going to make you feel good moving forward. And we'll see if Mickey Kraus can leave a few mistakes behind. Big mistakes they were.
First time in the match Sanchez Ruiz hasn't made anything off the break, albeit in one of those previous racks he did scratch as well.
He's going to shoot it at this combination. And remember, it was a 2-4 combination, much easier than this one that he missed to bring FSR back to the table once more. Oh, that was a nice, confident stroke.
Years to come. And of course, that match isn't over yet today. Back here, Kraus 8-6 in front and shooting at the 2.
Yeah, and how confident has he been playing these 2 balls? Maybe going after that 9 a bit, teasing us. Now, is the 5 falling funny on the black 8? Where you may have to play some type of kiss shot off the purple into the 9 here in just a couple innings?
You know, never mind the scoreline or the way they're playing. If you looked at this match not knowing anything about 9-ball or the histories of the players, and you were told that one of these guys is the defending world champion and the other one has never been beyond the last 64 before, just in terms of their manner around the table and the confidence they're showing, I think you'd find it hard to know which was which.
Extension called.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's how great Mickey's playing. And but what's most impressive to me is how confident, you know, he's stroking the ball. He's really not, like I said, trying to make the pocket bigger, hitting the ball easier at times. Just really clean strikes on the cue ball with a bit of authority.
I'm looking at an early finish here.
Yeah, this is always awkward. People would think this is an easy shot, but when you're behind the ball a little and you have to draw off of it, you can definitely miss the calculation.
The 5-9 carom is achieved, and Mickey Kraus has won 3 in a row. He only needs a couple more to advance and end the reign of FSR.
The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
He's shooting the 3-way. He's shooting the
Extension
triple.
called.
Yeah, talked about it earlier. You know, everyone's going to miss balls. Everyone's going to get unlucky here and there, and maybe lucky at times as well. But I don't know if you can lose your brain. That's the one you really can't afford, and not so sure.
Okay, so this absolutely thrilling last 64 encounter takes another turn. Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz back to only 2 behind now. Speaking of 2, that's still the number Mickey Kraus needs to add to his total to advance. Let's look again at the key moment of this rack, Jeremy.
That's why. Falling on the rail. Is he going to catch? See the look away right here? He knows he doesn't like it, and if he falls straight or if he's catching a piece of the 9, this could be very troublesome. Could get on top of the 8. Could get right on top of it here. Yeah, I didn't like the decision on the 6. I really liked him going for the upper corner and playing from behind for the 7 upstairs somewhere, but what do you do here, Michael? Do you attack with the cross corner bank? It's the type of bank it's very difficult to hang the ball. Usually wants to go or get away from the pocket. Ah, Mickey's cutting at this.
I don't think it's stretching the point to say this.
Extension called.
It's just about the biggest shot of his life so far.
Don't want to apply side spin here. Not normally, and this is sitting on the angle. He could go towards the corner he's standing at.
What did you make of that, Jake?
Well, you know, the players know what the miss tendency is most of the time on shots, and you know the miss tendency there is thick really, and maybe trying to stay away from that a bit more body movement that we've seen from Mickey the entire match. Gonna try and make a big bank here. He needs 3 in the corner. He's not gonna get it. Mickey Kraus should get to the hill.
Well, Kraus was 3 clear earlier in the match at 6-3. He led by that margin once more at 9-6. Sanchez Ruiz has come back at him a bit both times. This time it's been nipped in the bud. Kraus is again 3 clear, and this time he arrives on the hill. Oh, how about another golden one to finish? The greatest moment Mickey Kraus has had. It feels like the end of an era. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz at one point held the 2 biggest titles in the game, the World Championship and the US Open. Now he's lost them both, and as a result of this defeat, he will definitely lose the world #1 ranking as well. But what a turnaround for Mickey Kraus. Heartbroken in Atlantic City last September when he missed the chance to knock Sanchez Ruiz out of the US Open. He's done it today, and he's finished it off with his 2nd golden break of the match. A truly wonderful performance by the 23-year-old from Denmark. He's into the last 32 of the World Championship. For the very first time, the champ is out.
Yeah, Phil, this will tell us everything. SVB needs to break good. Did get the 1 down. Is he going to get a look on the 2? Looks very, very tight. But Shane's the type of player, when he gets that break down, he becomes a completely different animal.
He spent a good portion of the afternoon watching the Billy Thorpe-Oliver Szolnocki match on table 4. He's a great student of the break-off. He was taking clear note as to what was occurring on that table, but of course on this one it might be a little different.
Yeah, well, there's a great look. This ball is makeable. Oh, and he used all of the pocket there. What a hit this is. He also, with very little angle, gets up towards the red 3.
Are more heavily involved.
Okay, caught those balls a little thin. Notice the 1 a long ways from going in the middle. Take a look at the replay. Yeah, he might actually caught him thicker than he wanted. Neither here nor there. The 1, not even close.
Result for you. Johan Chua has beaten Ko Ping Han, the youngest of the 3 Ko brothers. Chua's victory by 11 racks to 5.
Yeah, Chua looking actually pretty good this event. What's this going to do with the 3? I think it's going to be just fine. Well, he's going to be a little steeper than he wanted. Shouldn't be an issue, but yeah, if you're a Wu fan, Phil, you've got to like what you see there with the 1. He got a bad flick on the white. No doubt there. 2 balls down. Trouble with the 2, though.
No trouble for Dang Junhui, the Spanish Open champion from around this time last year. He's beaten Kuo Po Cheng 11-7.
Yeah, so you got a good look here. This ball does play. Big shot coming up. Oh, very, very clean. Avoided contact with the purple 5 as well.
Chinese Taipei is a pool powerhouse. And so is Wu Kunlin, breaking and running in the third rack. And Shane Van Boning, after winning the first impressively, finds himself behind early doors. He trails 2-1.
And down. The 7 does play in the lower right. Going to the second rail here, Phil. It allows him to control the speed of the cue ball a little bit better. Kind of checks off that second rail. Well, he's proving me wrong. And this has caused a little problem. I felt like if he just turned that cue ball a little bit more, he could have come into a better line. I think he's going to be fine. He's not in love with it.
Extension called.
The reason this is a little bit more difficult is the 6. Well, it's not frozen to the rail, therefore not straightforward. Yeah, well, it does pass the 9. He should be fine. Would have liked a couple more rotations to get down here on this. Everything going to be okay, I believe.
At no point until the 7 ball did he positionally overextend himself in this rack, and now it should be his.
Wu Kunlin wins the rack.
3-1 to Wu Kunlin.
So he's looking to kick behind this.
Extension called.
Can't quite tell how much of the 1 he can get to. Might be able to get to all of it. Let's see what he's got in mind. Yeah, I don't know that he's going to kick behind this. Well, this was my concern with kicking behind it. I didn't really know where he could hide. Kind of an open table that direction. And I think Wu's got to go forward here off the 7. Okay, he's a little high with the 1, so he's going to draw. Wants to catch the 7 pretty thick. Oh, and he has, and this is going to turn out beautiful for Wu. Yeah, he got real nice and thick into the 7.
Extension called.
And he's calling his extension here. Might be a little steeper than it looks. He's got to get on the pink to the top right. Using a center inside ball here. Oh, and he's even played to overcut it a little. That needs to settle. He'll be fine.
to the last ball.
Yeah,
Rack
Phil, I
7.
know he will. In talking to
We're
us
coming into break.
earlier,
Leading 4 racks to
he
2.
is happy going through this event as an underdog. He is quiet, but he's steady. This young man can play. I don't think a lot of people give him enough credit.
Foul stroke. Ball in hand.
White chases the 1 down into the middle. And a big opportunity, Phil, for SVB.
Please start the clock.
This is the biggest money event in the history of 9-ball. Imagine single elimination, which we're in, going to Hill. That's what Marco Teucher and Bada Alawadi have done. Over on table 11, we'll keep you informed.
He's so fun to watch. He addresses the cue ball so well, possesses so much power when he needs it, only when he needs it. He's got 2 options here. He can come up 2 rails, or he can come around 3 rails. Looks like he's punching 3 rails. And notice how he stays well above his line on the 8, so he can naturally come down for the 9, having the cue ball clean.
Yes, with the shot clock, which is a 30-second shot clock, if you do have the cue ball cleaned, that comes out of your own time, but Ben Telefuente was perfectly positioned to get in there and complete the operation quickly. And completing the rack quickly is Shane Van Boning. He ain't missing this 9.
To get a better look. He's taking it on. All right, let's see what he thinks. Okay, he's going to try and use the 3. I'm surprised he took that on, Phil. The reason being is you've got 1 ball you're trying to hide behind, and 9 times out of 10 your opponent's going to be able to kick at it anyway. I would call that an error.
And it was a safety error that cost him rack 6. Safety error on the same ball.
Yeah, and that could be a point we referred to when this match is over. Didn't have to take that push on. Woo. Well, he's happy about it. Needs this cue ball to travel a little. He didn't want to be above the 2.
Great news for pool fans stateside. Billy Thorpe is through against Oliver Sholnocki. 11-8. Sholnocki, a former semi-finalist in this event. Good win for Thorpe. That the banker comes good.
Yeah, he had a bit of a patchy match last night. I thought he played great. He only missed 3 balls. He was a little hard on himself. He lost the match right down at the end, but he's recovered well. Not surprised. You know, Phil, I think he's playing the best pool of his career. He's made some great personal decisions, and you can see it in his backswing.
Yeah, the man from Dayton, Ohio, will now take on the giant killer, Mickey Krause, in the last 32.
Fairlife Ultra Filtered Milk makes every moment better. With 50% more protein and 50% less sugar, plus a creamy taste that makes that smoothie even smoothier. Fairlife.
In the World 9-Ball Tour.
And that was a nifty shot, played with check side to come down the table at the right angle for the brown 7.
Extension called.
Wanted a little more on the cue ball, I would think. But it's a problem that's easily solved at this level.
Yeah, I think he's going to come all the way over. If not, then he's got to kill this ball. He doesn't want to catch the 9, but he caught it correctly.
Anything Wu can do, Shane Van Boening can't do better at the moment. The semi-finalist last year from Chinese Taipei is looking to gain a major scalp, and he's well on course because he's more than halfway to victory. He leads at 6-3.
Takes the pressure off of him.
Well, he'll be the underdog in the last 32 because he plays Eklund Kachi.
Where is the one going? Does it fall? Well, we haven't seen a lot of SVB. It's been pretty quiet. Hasn't made a lot of mistakes that I've seen. Nothing jumping out at me other than the break. And at this point, he's really got to start to come with it. Don't try to get too cute on the blue two. Just make sure you guarantee yourself some type of look. Yeah, I like that. Actually, about as good as you could get. I assume he's going to want to swing 2 rails out just below the 9 to the right long rail and out towards the center with a low left ball here. Kind of a drag shot. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Correctly for the shot. I think he's fallen perfect. He's responded every time. I feel like the break is what's slowing him down, and that's always the case with Shane Van Boening. If he's breaking good, I don't feel like any human on the planet has to win.
Deficit trimmed. 6-4 now to Wu Kunlin.
Oh, it looks good, Phil, but just short. And this is what I was talking about with the cue ball. Yeah, he's looking to kick off the bottom rail here. Very good look. This is why he doesn't want to jump at it. Doesn't see a lot of good things coming from the jump shot. Well, Wu would love to make this in the left middle. It would carry position.
Foul stroke. All in hand.
Instead, the worst possible scenario, no contact at all.
Please start the clock.
And Shane's kind of just like hung around and hung around. He hasn't shown weakness outside of the break. Maybe it's the first sign of weakness from Wu.
1, 2, 3, go!
The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Who's up next?
It is that steep, Phil. He'll punch 2 rails, but he's got to avoid the 9.
That's one of the great assets of Van Boening. He gets so much bite into the cue ball, doesn't he? It grips the cloth really quickly, maybe quicker than most.
Yeah, his delivery in that transition, he just gets so much power from his movement.
It is all tied up for the first time since 1-1. Shane Van Boening is back on level terms. This time it's 6-6. Cracking match in progress.
For Van Boening fans. Yeah, I mean, the pace at which he hit that break. I don't think anybody's cutting the balls any harder than that. Looking to get behind the pink here. And he might have him cut off. A little shake of the head there. Well, Shane, never really happy with anything in his game because he's such a perfectionist. But I think the brown 7 causes big problems here for Wu.
Extension called.
Yeah, and if he has to go to our right side, he's going to have issues with the 9-6. He's really, I think he's trying to bend this cue ball to the left long rail as well. Oh, wow, Phil, that was millimeters.
Foul strike. Ball in hand. Please start the clock.
Yeah, what a difference a fraction makes. You said millimetre, Scott. It might have been millimetre. Singular.
No doubt. It was probably a millimeter. What a valiant effort that was by Wu, though. I only figured out what he was trying to do right at the end. SVB calling his extension.
It's going to be more strife for Wu Kun Lin. You can guarantee that. And this is even more difficult than the original.
Yeah, really glued him up behind the 6 here. Score? Well, it's 6-6. And he's behind the 6. If he happens to get ball in hand here, you'll typically see a player like Shane take the run out because the 2's so close to the 7. I don't think he'll play the 3 foul. But Wu is on 2.
2 fouls. Ball in hand. Please start the clock.
Shane Van Boening has not been in front since he won the opening rack. As I speak.
Okay, he's going rail first here, so he might go into the purple. No, he's caught it fat. Want to catch more of the top side of that ball. So one positional error leads to another. He's got to soft roll this kick. Just hope he leaves him jumbled up or somewhere close to the 5. I don't understand the speed
Foul stroke.
at which
Ball
he
in
hit
hand.
it. I don't think there was going to be any separation at any point.
Sorry. Please start the clock.
Yes, and it was imperative to make contact at the very least.
Extension called.
A little bit of an awkward angle, though. The 6 could get away from you just a fraction. And he's held it nicely. No problems here.
So the 8 in through a combination, the 7 in the same way. It means he goes from 6 to 9. And it means he gets within one.
Wu Kunlin wins the
Shane
rack.
Van Boning's 5-rack winning streak is interrupted.
But it's laying to where he could go forward. Wow, he's just so good at this shot. He practices that shot day in, day out.
Viator has over 300,000 travel experiences. So you'll find something for everyone. Find travel experiences for you at Viator.com.
STEM Light Trap attracts and traps flying insects without chemical insecticides. So no matter what the day cooks up for you, you're never bugged. STEM Light Trap.
I'd say at least 60% of the pool world would have gone forward on that ball. Not thrilled. He's going to have a steep angle. This means might be forced to come around 3 rails.
But again, that shot with running side around the houses, as we say. He plays that one delightfully also.
There's no doubt. I think he's just concerned he'd like to just draw it out 2 rails
Extension call.
across the top of these balls, but I think he's concerned about catching one of them and then might flirt with the right middle. So he pretty much forced, I think, to come 3 rails here. Looks like he's digging low, though. Well, it's not easy to avoid all of those balls. You see a little jolt in his arms there, like, come on, let's get this over with. Chance for a break and run. Here, Phil.
Sure.
At precisely the right time to get on the hill. And this has been a recurring pattern. Van Boning making sure, doubly sure, that there's no skids. Having the cue ball cleaned. Even with a 30-second shot clock, ample time to do that because Ben Telefuente, the referee, is very efficient.
Yeah, Benny's doing a great job out there. Well, he's overrun this just a little bit. It seems like he just gets a little overamped at times during this match. Obviously, can't ever predict an issue here.
It's just at that distance that places a grain of doubt in the mind. This could be wobbled, especially in such a pressurized environment. But it isn't wobbled. The great Shane Van Boning now 3 in front on the hill.
What's he got up his sleeve? The carom combination. But look at how it's finished, Phil. He's pretty much frozen over the 8.
This rack is symptomatic of the whole contest. Nothing has come easy for Shane Van Boning. He's had to fight for everything.
And I guess at that speed, you've got to know that the 5 is going to finish where it did. Well, this needs to settle. This needs to settle. New life for Wu.
He was right in amongst them. It looked like a simple chance for a player of his authentic world class to complete victory. But suddenly, things have switched. That was calmly done. Just rolled in from distance.
Check out these deals of the week at Walgreens. Enjoy free 1-hour delivery when you spend $35.
If only every adventure began with your makers of wishes come true. They would ensure every milestone along the way was unforgettable. If only you experienced the unique peace of mind from being the one and only, now and always. What if only, was possible? It is, with only NetJets.
This contest getting a little closer, Phil.
Yes, he's missed fewer balls than his opponent in this match. He did miss a very bad 8-ball in rack 14, but otherwise he's been pretty reliable.
Not happy. The reason he's not happy, he can't be upset either. He's wanted a little bit more angle. Might have to power this ball. This is a ball you can rattle. Got to hit it clean. And clean. He hit it.
When Shane Van Boening messed up in the previous rack, he might well have thought, this could lead to trouble. If he thought that, he was right. It is 10-9. Van Boening still waiting to cross the winning line.
Oh, he could make it. What's the 8 gonna do? He's gone right into the 8, Phil. Maybe an opportunity for the man from the USA.
Remember rack 14, the missed 8-ball twice over. Here, it's a well-known phrase behind the 8-ball. Woo Kun Lin literally is.
Six seconds on the clock. How's it finish? How does it finish? Oh, another chance for SVB.
For Woo Kun Lin, that 8-ball is an evil sphere. Even stopping the cue ball in mid-table and giving SVB another chance to wrap it up.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more. I believe the pink passes in the lower left. You know, not long ago, Phil, we were talking about a road map. You mentioned he made a wrong turn. We were wondering if it was a dead end.
Dare we say an avenue into the last 32, but what an examination this has been. What a tough assignment. Van Boening far too experienced to become excitable. He'll just hone his concentration. 5 more balls.
Yeah, and this is typically where he shines. Very rarely will you see him lose another opportunity to get past this match. I think he's just going to hold here. Or is he going to try and come around? No reason to send the cue ball further than you need it. It's got him in trouble in the past, trying to come around, Phil. Does have a little bit of an angle. Don't make this harder than it is. You can go to the top rail and out from the right long rail. Just going to play it simple. I like it. Well, it wasn't pretty, Phil. He's 3 balls away from a victory.
Again, following that thought of having the cue ball cleaned, he's done it on several occasions this afternoon. The last thing he wants here is a bad contact. Other than that, though, you cannot imagine that Van Boening will falter. You know, he hails from Rapid City, South Dakota. This match, this win, has not been rapid. It's been the definition of hard fought. But the American talisman is through.
11 racks to 9.
Shane Van Boening has defeated Wu Kun Lin 11 racks to 9. He remains in this World Championship as he tries to regain the title he won in 2022.